In this video, I want to talk to you about the joys of shooting the breeze with somebody. And there's a reason for that. I've just come back from the post office, right? I went out this morning. I was a bit down in the dumps, I suppose. And I went to the post office to return something to Amazon of all places. Anyway, I'm standing in the queue. And a fella comes in that I know from the village. Now, I live in a village of about 5,000 people. And this person is one of the only people I know in the village. And he also is a subscriber to this channel, which I'm thankful for. So thanks for that, Gary. Anyway, we started to have a chat while we were there. And over the next hour and a half, we were stood outside the post office, shooting the breeze, talking about all sorts of stuff. And you know what? It got me thinking. I talk on this channel a lot about being grateful and gratitude and taking those small moments of joy in your life and remembering them. Well, the conversation that I just had with Gary is going to go in my journal today as my high point of the day. And the reason for it is that there is purely something really, really good about just having a chat. It was a chat about nothing really, but we covered loads and loads of subjects. We talked about cine films. We talked about a place in the UK called Whitby and Robin Hood Bay. I talked about Portland in Dorset and how the waves become wild in the winter. We chatted about all sorts of things. Talked about friends that we'd made from Facebook. He talked about his career as a train driver. We talked about a whole heap of stuff. And it was just a natural, ongoing chat that went from one thing to another, to another, to another. And it was an absolute joy. And it reminds me that you don't need to have something massive go on in your life to get a bit of joy in it. The last hour and a half that I spent chatting to him has cheered me up no end, because one thing's sure, I'm not happy all the time. As much as I'd like to be, I'm not born with a smile on my face every minute of the day. I get the same things that you do as well. And what I'm saying is this: when you're looking for those happy times, times that make you cheerful, things that make your day worthwhile, you don't have to look further than shooting the breeze with somebody. It was a great thing, and yet it was just a natural thing that, I don't know about you, but I seem to do less of it. I spend most of my day in this office, which means that for the most part, I don't generally see a lot of people. And most of my conversing, if you like, is done via social media. And we talked about the art of communication. It was something that was so natural, and yet it's something that we don't do as often as we used to. We spend so much of our time, I don't know about you, but I live in a road. I talk to my next door neighbour on that side, I talk to my next door neighbour on that side, and I talk to the couple that live opposite us. But apart from that, we really don't know anybody else in the street where I live. I walk across the village, through the village, and rarely bump into anybody I know. Shopping is the most likely place that I'm going to bump into somebody that I know. And that's not very often. So yeah, when you're looking for things to cheer you up, never look any further than just a casual chat with someone who you haven't seen for a while. It was great, and I've come away from that with a video to do, one of the subjects we talked about was how sometimes it's really hard to think of something to talk about when I'm doing a video. And so that conversation has led to this conversation. There's a lot of things out there that can bring you joy in your life. It doesn't have to be the big things. I talk about this a lot. It only has to be the tiny little things that can make a difference to you. And I'll tell you what, that conversation that I've just had, that chat, leaning against a post outside the post office, was joyful. It was joyful, to be honest with you. Gary is a nice fella. Like him immensely. I don't know him that well, but when we meet, we generally end up having a chat, generally for not quite as long as the one today, but you know what it goes. Find the joy in your daily interactions. Each day, if you're out and about in whatever you're doing, just a quick hello can turn into something that will keep you buoyed all day long. And I don't know how it is with you. As I said, I spend most of my life in and around this office, so I don't get out and see people. And so I probably had more to say in the conversation than Gary did, if the truth be told. But it was nice. It was a nice thing to have a chat, pass the time of day, talk about nothing really. We shared a bit about each other's lives. We talked about some of the things that had happened, but nothing extraordinary, nothing that was planned. It just rolled from one thing into another. And aren't they the best conversations, really? One of the things that we were saying about it is that in this day and age, social interaction seems to be getting less and less and less. And if you listen to the news and you listen to social media and all other sorts where you get the stuff that's going on around the world, you would think that the world is a bad place and that the people in it are too. But let me tell you this, that's not the case. Generally, there are more good people out there than bad. By miles, there are more good people than bad. And so it's not the case that you need to insulate yourself from other people, because it's something as silly as bumping into somebody in the post office and having a chat that can lift your spirits and make it a good day for you. If you've enjoyed this little short video that came out of nowhere, come back for more. And that one there, I'll do something on that that'll try and make you feel a bit better too. See you next time.